Hello everybody and welcome back to our channel. Today we'll be reviewing the Chloe wooden stool. Beautiful design, beautiful craftsmanship. Let's dive into its details. A few months ago we have already reviewed the Chloe chair. You'll find the link somewhere appearing. And the Chloe chair has been reviewed with, in its version with the metal structure. Both the chair and the stool can be made with the metal structure or the wooden structure. And here with this tool we focus onto the wooden structure. The wooden structure is made with solid beech wood. And you see beech is a very cost-effective, reliable, sturdy wood, which can be used in furniture. In comparison to ash wood or oak wood, its pores are shallower, okay? They're not as deep as in ash wood or oak. And these allow for different effects, because for example here I can have natural beech wood colors, and they're normally more perceived as being more basic in terms of looks and perception, but I can also color them very effectively, and I can have the tinged finishes, which is this one, where I actually color the wood and I still perceive its features. It's very different, this effect, from ash wood or oak wood, where with a deeper pore you would see more the veneer, because the veneer would kind of be underlined where the pore is, while with beech wood is smoother, it's plainer. Also on beech I can have the standard matte lacquer, and so I could actually cover the veneer and perceive the color that I've chosen. Let's going on about this part of the product. You see, we have many standard colors, but also you can also have the RAL colors, and this makes for a very deep degree of customization. So let's talk about its comfort. Well, first of all, you must know that you can customize its height. This is a feature which is quite rare on the market, and it's useful, for example, when you have a kitchen top or a bar top which might be slightly higher or slightly lower than the average, and so you can customize its height. Let's talk about its comfort. Well, it's rather firm because the filling is rather shallow and I can feel the wood underneath. It's still comfortable because the wood both on the seat and on the back is curved, and so it welcomes my body, but do not expect anything soft or much welcoming. It is in general quite comfortable. This is, you know, there are two sitting positions that you might have when sitting on a stool. You might sit like this with your feet on the bar here. Actually, on the solid wood bar that connects the two front legs, there's this aluminium detail which helps protecting the wood underneath. Okay, so I might sit like this, and in this case the low back, which is relatively low, has the purpose of keeping my body, avoiding that my body goes too much towards the back, or depending on how tall I am, I might sit like this. So I push back the stool, I sit a bit more towards the front, and I rest my feet on the ground. So we can actually customize also how we manage the padding and the covers, because we can have a fully wooden version with wooden seat and wooden backrest. We can have padded seat and wooden backrest, or as we see here, padded seat and padded backrest. Here we can have it customized in most of our fabrics, faux leathers and leathers. Here we see it with the Panama leather. I can actually say that I very much like the match between the green of the beech wood and the green of the Panama. They were meant not to be identical, but a tone-in-tone effect. So the Panama leather is a half-grain leather, a touched leather in the sense that it has been refined in order to have a uniform grain, not like full grain where you can actually see differences based on the specific spot you're looking at. So it has a very neutral look in a good way. It is indeed also very practical for kitchen use, for example, for everyday use. And I'd like to point out and close this review pointing out how beautifully built is the structure, because we started describing some features of beech wood, but let's talk also about the construction. So you see, of course, it's a solid wood structure. Of course, the underneath is not as refined as what you normally perceive, but it's beautiful to look at because you don't see, well, you see a few screws, but other than that, it's very clean and well thought out. Of course, it's all solid wood, except for the backrest and the seat, which are necessarily made with a multi-layer panel, because you can actually see it here, because with the multi-layer panel, you can actually thermically curve it and create this curve, which makes comfortable even if it's firm and, let's say, even if the surface is relatively hard. So we've come to the end of today's product review about the Chloe wooden kitchen stool. I hope that you like it and see you next time.